We might be good to go. All right, we're back. Make a quick test in Discord. That means someone say something real quick.
Alright, I hear it.
Perfect. Okay, we're good. We're back. I don't know what the issue was, but the headset was set up, but nothing was coming out on either side. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We are back with week 7 of the Gold League, the final Otter talk before the end of the regular season. Joining me is Fury, Mr. Lean, that Decker guy from GSG, the Bully. How's everyone doing tonight?
Good.
Good.
All
Doing
right.
good. Glad I have power this time.
Yeah,
God
that's
has
good.
allowed me to live another day, and I'm about to make it everyone's problem.
All right. Interesting take on that. Uh, with that, though, we're going to kind of jump right into it as we have a little bit of time before the games tonight. So, right off the bat, let's take a look at the power rankings in the Cloud division. No surprise, TA Dayspot sits atop first place, undefeated, has yet to drop a game. The only team in the Gold League to do so heading into week 7. So we'll see if they're able to keep that perfect record heading into playoffs or if they drop tonight, potentially. Up next, though, in second place, Literal Monkeys Fire 4-2, tied with Aftermath Esports. And then we have 3 teams sitting at 3-3, Rivals, New World Esports, Jupiter, and Business Time. F's in chat for Clinical and Revolution Halcyon. Best of luck next year. Give it your best. But let's talk about these teams now. So TA Dayspa, Mr. Lean. Is this the team to beat right now? Are they number 1? Do you think that they walk away with the title?
I don't know about the title, but I definitely think like TA Day Spa is definitely like should be one of your finals contenders,
Okay.
if not like a outright lock to make finals. I'd say.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And Little Monkeys Fire sitting 1 point ahead of Aftermath Esports. Decker, you've put them in second, so kind of give me the walkthrough as to how you're feeling about Little Monkeys Fire in week 7, and then kind of heading into playoffs after that.
So I think those two teams are really interchangeable to me. When I look at the record, it seems like Fire has a bit more quality wins than Aftermath does. So tonight will be should be an easy win for Aftermath with Clinical, right? And then Monkeys will be a little tested with Fire,
Yeah.
so I will probably have a clearer or with Rivals, sorry. So we'll probably have a clearer understanding. But just my hunch, maybe it's LMK bias because I've been playing in leagues with LMK for so long, but they always have strong teams. They always have good showing. So I wouldn't be surprised if they hold onto that second spot.
Yeah, fair enough. And then up next in third place, it is Aftermath Esports. Still, both these teams, by the way, Little Monkeys Fire and Aftermath Esports, have the opportunity to be eliminated. However, for Aftermath Esports, it's looking like if you were to be a gambling individual, you'd bet on them at playoffs. So they're sitting in third place at the moment. Bully, what are your takes on Aftermath here? This group at the moment.
I mean, yeah, if you're like an Aftermath player, you have the highest confidence of like doing well this week. Of course, LMTK, Rivals, Jupiter, Business Time all have matchups against each other basically. But Aftermath has that matchup against Clinical. Clinical hasn't been doing the best this season, only 1 game win. But I know they're doing quite well in ZGG. Decker, do you remember their record?
Oh, I don't off the top of my head.
I think
Whose
it's like
record?
3-3, if I'm not mistaken. So they have that potential. They have like some, tricks up their sleeves. So if Aftermath gets lackadaisy and just like lose today, they could get knocked out, and that would be very, very bad for them.
Yeah, and it's definitely not over yet for any of these teams unless you're TA Day Spa, and then the question is, do you want to go into playoffs trying to keep that perfect record, or are you looking to just kind of skate by in week 7, find out what they want? With that though, the next team is Rivals that we're going to talk about, coming in at 3-3, 25 points, sitting currently as it is in the last seed that qualifies for the Cloud Division for playoffs. We'll talk about their matchup later, but it looks like a few of you actually put them outside of playoff coming around next week. So, Bully, you're the only one that believes that they might be making playoffs here. What are your thoughts?
So one big thing is New World Esports Jupiter.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. I think Rivals has been getting better throughout the weeks. But I think the biggest thing is the drop of New World Esports.
Mm-hmm.
They've been, losing to basically everyone in the back half of the season, and now they also lost their support yesterday, I believe, their starting support.
Mhm.
For like a job change or whatever. But losing that just makes me less confident in New World Esports to actually make it. The only big thing is that Rivals does have a massive match today,
Mhm.
and they have a hard way of getting it. The reason why I put them in fourth is because I think they are the fourth best team in this
Okay.
division. Will they end up there?
Got
Maybe
you.
not,
Okay.
and that's gonna be based on just having a poor early season.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see definitely some crazy games going on in Cloud. Up next, though, it is New World Esports Jupiter coming in at the 5th seed, 1 point out of a playoff berth in week 7 as of right now. We'll see. We'll talk about their match in a second, though. But in 5th place, Fury, you have them ranked 4th in your power rankings. So kind of give me your takes on New World Esports Jupiter this.
Well, I just think they've had a pretty solid season coming up, and realistically, my top 4 right now are just the 4 teams I have winning tonight.
Okay.
Sort of coincidentally,
Hmm.
and that's just how they end up into my bracket there.
Okay. Fair enough. Up next, then, it is business time. The last team fighting for a chance at playoffs. 2 points down from the 4th seed, coming at 3-3, 7-8 game score. I'm gonna let this that Decker guy. You have them pretty low in the power rankings. So, what are your thoughts on business time heading into 7 here?
So my meme answer is that any team with feathers I can't allow in playoffs in my bracket.
Okay. Okay.
So no, but they looking it's hard to pay attention to all the divisions, but from what I have paid attention to this division, it doesn't seem like business time has scaled very well. And they're kind of a group kind of like my own, where
Mm-hmm.
there's a soup in the center that everyone's kind of gathering in, and it just seems like, looking at their matchup tonight with New World, they're probably just going to kind of fall below that bubble and just bubble out. I definitely think the team has potential. They have good players on their roster, but
Mm-hmm.
I think they're just a little bit outclassed with the other teams that are kind of in the middle with them.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. And we'll group the next 2 together. 7th place, it is Revolution Halcyon 1-5. 8th, it is Clinical 0-6. Unfortunately, these 2 teams, this is the last best of 3 that they will be playing for Season 7 of the Gold League. My question is to you, Mr. Lean. If you were to take Revolution Halcyon and Clinical and potentially put them in other divisions, do you think that we could be looking at a potential playoff berth for either of these 2 teams if you were to put them in perhaps Mountain or Ocean?
I mean, keeping their same record, not
No,
really.
No, we're
Actually,
we're not keeping record. We're talking about if you were to, at the
Oh.
beginning of the season, place Revolution or Clinical in perhaps the Mountain division, right, or Ocean. How would you feel that these 2 teams would stack up against their other competition?
I feel like they actually might have a better time in Mountain, because Mountain is a little bit more. Actually, no, I take that back. I put it in Ocean. Ocean's like
That's
no.
cracked.
That
That's cracked.
that that is a base.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, as the
I
as
don't
the ocean
think
rep, I solely
answer.
disagree with
I'm
you.
just like, I don't know how to answer that question, if I'm being honest. I don't think they make playoffs in any
Okay,
of these.
All
that's
right,
fine.
all right.
That's
You're
you
gonna
can say that.
use
Yeah,
the lifeline. You can phone a
yeah,
friend.
yeah. Phone a
I'll
friend.
use
Bully,
Reddit.
I'm
help him out.
I'm
Alright.
not phoning a friend. I don't think they make playoffs in any of these divisions.
Okay, there you go. Okay, Bully, you hit something you might want to say to this.
So Halcyon, we've seen early in the season that they were taking games off people. They just couldn't close out the series,
Mhm.
and they'd be going like 1-2, 1-2,
Yeah.
and then the only one they have is against Clinical. I think they have a better shot in Mountain
Okay.
to actually make it to playoffs, and that would be that 4th seed spot.
Mhm.
I don't think they would beat like CGA, New World Esports Mercury, or CB Ibiza. But I think the bottom 4 teams is very, very beatable, and basically, I think Halcyon would have ended with at least a 3-3 record there. Ocean, I think they would just get equally stomped.
Okay,
So.
yeah, fair. That'll be a question we circle back around to in Ocean, and some unfortunate teams who I felt were pretty good, just kind of ended up in the pummeling, like the mosh pit of Ocean for teams right now. Up next, though, we're going to talk about the next division. It should be up on screen now. It is Mountain. And this is, I'd say, a little bit more spread out than what we've seen in some of the other divisions. As we already have 4 teams who have qualified. It is CB Ibiza, Clown Gaming, Aristocrats, New Mercury, and RPG Cubs. The only difference is, where did they all kind of end up, right? CB Ibiza still, I believe, aren't first regardless of what happens here.
No.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, if they lose, my bad. 0-2. Yeah, my bad.
Yep.
They still have, yes. So first is still technically up for grabs. It has to be an 0-2 though, and then New World Esports Mercury have to pretty much 2-0. And then the rest of it, though, Calling Gaming Aristocrats, RPG Cubs, that could be flopped. We'll see. Same with potentially, I believe, 2nd and 3rd. With that, though, we see our 4 teams locked in. CBB's up top in the standings. Decker. Heading into playoffs, how strong do you think CB stacks up to these other top tier teams?
So in my head, CB Ibiza is only kind of challenged by the other CB team, which we'll get to eventually,
Mm-hmm.
and TA Dayspot. So literally just the top 3.
Okay.
If I had to like stack rank them in the top 3, I'm a little biased because I've played against obviously Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably put Rangers on top, and then TA Dayspot, and
Okay.
then Ibiza below them. But I think those 3 matches could go either way, like any direction.
Okay, fair enough. In 2nd place is Esports Mercury, sitting at 5-1, 3 points down from 1st place. They are pretty much in 2nd. The community has allotted Cloud Gaming Aristocrats in 1st, and then a tie for New World Esports and Visa in 2nd and 3rd. But Bully, you put New World Esports Mercury in 2nd place. Kind of walk me through your thought process with this, and how is there a gap between 1st and 2nd, or do you feel that 2nd and 3rd is potentially close as well?
The thing is, like Clown Gaming, we know that they were struggling early on the season. They, stabilized a little bit. But I do think that New World is pretty solid still. Yes, they got absolutely shit stomped by CP Ibiza. It was a 2-0. But that's only 2 losses they've had all season.
Yeah.
Other than that, they look pretty consistent, and they got their shot, and they might get another shot in the playoffs. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. Up next, it is Clown Gaming Aristocrats that you did mention, 4-2 with the series score, sitting in 3rd place. And Mr. Lean, you've also put them in 3rd. So walk me through kind of your thought process.
No, I really liked what Clown Gaming Aristocrats has really done this season. I question the community putting them directly in at first, given the other 2 teams at the top of this division.
Okay.
But no, I think
it's probably like 4 people,
and
it's all probably all Clown Gaming Aristocrats.
It's all CGA players. But no, I think CGA. I think CGA got a little bit of a rough bat because to be fair, I don't think they would really be at the top of any of the other divisions as well. But I definitely think they can make some noise as a 3rd seed, especially who are they playing? Are they playing Mercury?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's a big game.
They might. I'm gonna be honest. If they lose, RPG Cubs has a bye, and so they could just flip. And all the same 4 still make playoffs. But I don't know. That's going to be an interesting game.
That's something I did specifically when I put my power rankings together.
And
you are on also, I was gonna throw this next to you, Fury. You have put RPG RPG Cubs, my apologies, in third place for your power rankings, Fury. Walk me through why.
If you're paying attention to the schedule, you know logistically they have to be.
Yeah.
If you put New World Esports second, you assume automatically the Cubs are going to be in third.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you would have Clown above New World. So
Yeah.
it doesn't work that way.
Listen, I've seen teams lose their bye week. The Raiders lost theirs in the middle of the season in the NFL, so it's possible. Trust me.
Fair.
They
fair.
also lose half their players to felonies, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
true.
That's true.
nothing quite like killing someone at 150 miles an hour. I'll tell you what.
Jeez.
dude,
My God.
the Raiders need to like sell their draft picks or something. I don't know.
Why do you
They
think
don't
we
draft
traded
well.
the first two of them?
Oh.
That's what we did.
So
Well,
bad.
on that note, I don't think RPG Cubs have that to worry about if they're in their off week this week against what would have been the Phantoms. Up next, in fifth place, it is Glacial Void, and this is where we see them kind of bounce around within power rankings. A few people have them in fifth. Looks like they show up in the last in the community. Decker, you have them in fifth yourself, though. So kind of walk me through your thoughts on Glacial Void here.
Yeah, so I was stuck on these two teams with Raw and Glacier Void for a little bit, trying to figure out where I thought they might fall. And it really, as kind of memey as it is, it came down to like the mid-season tournament. Looking at Glacials, I know there were
Mhm.
best of ones, and maybe not everyone was trying that hard. But whenever I'm trying to like find nuances to rank these teams, that's kind of the discrepancy. Glacial had
Mhm.
some actually good games in MST. Um, so I ended up slotting them there. I think they're on paper a stronger team, but we'll see. Do they play each other tonight, right? So yeah, we'll find out
We'll
tonight.
see. Yeah. And again, F's in chat for Glacial Void, Raw, Clown Gaming Jesters have been eliminated. We'll see.
Yeah,
who-
unfortunately, Clown Gaming Gestures are without their whole starting roster today.
Yes, so that'll be.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, another league had a comp ruling where now Clown Gaming Gestures will now need to play like some matches to determine if they make playoffs or not.
Boy,
Mm.
okay.
Like another team got comp ruled, so this is good for Clown Gaming Gestures.
Yeah,
bad
good for them. Yeah. So we'll see. Best of luck to them. But yeah, we'll see who ends up kind of fifth and sixth seed with Glacial Void and Raw taking each other on. Up next, though, talk about the next division. It is Ocean, and this is a little bit different.
This one's
Kind of the same here. Yeah, this is where it gets to be a little crazy with playoffs here, right? So, looking at Ocean, CB Rangers, and Imperial Gaming have clinched playoffs. Congratulations to them. We will see them back next week. The question is, who is the number one seed? We're going to find out later tonight as the two teams do get out. With that, though, we get some other teams to talk about. Conduit, AK Jasmine Dragons, GSG Gamma, and Literal Monkeys Water are all still fighting for playoff spots. Oasis Maelstrom and Son Goku been eliminated, but obviously, if you do the math, we have way more teams than 4 who are trying to make it here. So let's start talking about this. Up at the top, CB Rangers in the number one seed, up by 2 points, separating CB Rangers Imperial Gaming. Mr. Lean, you have Imperial Gaming in the number one seed. Tell me what's up.
Look, all I'm saying is, especially with Imperial Gaming, they really haven't shown that they've lost any steps, especially from their finals berth last season. Imperial Gaming is like it. I don't know. I'll put it to you like this: there's no reason Imperial Gaming shouldn't take first. I think first and second in this division are pretty interchangeable, so it doesn't necessarily matter who gets first or second because they're both the top teams. But I feel like Imperial is going to show a little bit more and take it out in like a 3-game series tonight.
Okay. Fair enough. Imperial Gaming comes in at second seed. Fury, you have them in second here.
Mhm.
And give me the rundown as to why you believe they finished second.
Yeah, I guess we just have opposites winning tonight. Just because I do think that CB Rangers are going to win tonight.
Okay.
Sacrilege.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, fair enough.
I think it's mainly I just want to keep the dream alive that they're going to be up there just as the top
Mhm.
team as CB does, but to keep in line with Ibiza and just see what happens from there.
Okay, I have another follow-up question to you. If you put Imperial Gaming in the other two divisions, do they end up in second place still, or could they knock one of these other off for first?
I think, except for Mountain, where I think they would maybe come in second
Okay.
in Mountain, I think they come in first in Cloud.
Okay. All right.
I'd agree with that. I'd agree with that.
Fair. All right. Up next, though, it is Conduit Esports coming in third place currently. They are in playoff position as of week 6. It does look like a lot of you do believe that they will stay in playoffs. Bully, what are your thoughts here?
I mean, they have a very difficult matchup today. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Mhm.
But Conduit is a pretty solid team. I think they definitely have takes to what they're sitting at 4-2.
Yes.
4-2. Yeah, 4-2, and even I believe that even a loss will. Oh, actually, a loss could eliminate them.
Yeah, it
So
could.
yeah,
They,
that's
yeah. But I think
no
a
two losses.
1-2, I think they're in a
One.
good spot still. If they
Yeah,
do
there's
lose
a possibility
1-2.
tiebreakers,
Yeah.
but yeah, all they have to do is win one game. They're a good team, especially because they have what it takes to make a splash in playoffs. It's all
Mhm.
about finishing up the season. It's a lot easier road than any other team in this division besides CB Rangers and Imperial who are locked. But
Mhm.
I expect Conduit to be a pretty solid third seed or whatever seed they go into the
Okay.
playoffs.
Yeah, fair. All right. We're going to jump down to the 5th seed. It is AK Jasmine Dragons sitting 3-3, 6-6 in game scores, just out of playoffs. Decker. I know they're hoping GSG Gamma kind of squeeze themselves in week 7. AK Jasmine Dragons take on Conduit Esports. Kind of need some help to win here. So, what are your thoughts? How hopeful are you and your team right now?
So we're pretty hopeful. I mean, we were talking about it a little pre-podcast, but AK has won every week that they've had their starting roster.
Mm-hmm.
Last week they had their starting roster, but they didn't really because of Riot problems.
Mm-hmm.
But they're a very strong team. But Conduit, I think, is equally strong. I'm obviously hoping for Conduit to pull it out. It helps us a lot more, but I could see it. I could see it going either way. On paper, I think that Conduit probably has more practice than AK
Okay.
does. So I think that Conduit might have a little edge there. But we will see. I'm really glad this is a stream
Yeah.
match. Like, I'm not crazy. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm really happy that this is a stream match because this is going to be probably outside of like what do we have like two like CB and IG playing. Outside of that, it's probably one
Mhm.
of the closest series we'll see tonight. So I'm excited to see it.
It's definitely probably the most important series, especially if you're a Goon Squad player or a
Mhm.
Little Monkeys player, etc., etc.
Yeah. And speaking of Goon Squad Gaming, Gamma sitting at 3-3 in 6th, who do need some help trying to pull this out. Bully, have them
Yes.
just out of playoffs. Do you think that there's a chance for them to get in playoffs, or do you
Yes.
think that the curtain
Why?
might be
Because
calling
they're
on
already
this
2-0
season?
today.
True.
They're already
That is also very
so,
true.
so they don't have to worry about their own gameplay today. It's more of
Mm-hmm.
the pressure of what Little Monkeys could do or AK could do. If Little Monkeys falter, I believe GSG has the head-to-head to Little Monkeys. So one game loss for Little Monkeys can spell their death.
So there are
I'm not 100%
multiple
positive.
ways in, is what you're saying for
Yeah, and then there's a way
GSG
of like
Gamma.
having a four-way tie, but
Yeah, I hope that doesn't happen.
and then it's there's a bunch of tiebreakers for that. But yeah, so there are ways in for GSG Gamma. It's all up to everyone else. It's
Okay.
their own playoff hopes is in other people's hands at this point.
Yeah. All right. Well, definitely some interesting streams for them to watch tonight. Up next, then, absent chat for Oasis Maelstrom and Son Goku. Both of them have been eliminated. My last question for this is to Fury. Little Monkeys Water.
Mhm.
Big matchup tonight.
Wait, I lied.
It is.
Have them.
It can't be a four-way tie.
Okay,
No.
yeah, that's good. You have them in 4th. Give me the rundown.
Wait, yes, can.
So that's I'm thinking I'm gonna do I think I might do a last minute swap on that because I think Little Monkey's 2-0 tonight.
Okay.
But I think it's a possibility that Conduit also 2-0s.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's super likely. I think they get one game taken off of them, so
Okay.
maybe Little Monkey's third.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I put them in 3rd because I feel that it would be a catastrophe for Little Monkeys to drop games on Goku now.
Right.
And I think people are sleeping a little bit on AK Jasmine Dragons, so they could give Conduit Esports a little bit of a problem.
Hold
But
on, Traxon. It wouldn't
yes.
be a catastrophe if they dropped the game.
Not for you,
let's
it would
No.
be a
let's just
catastrophe.
walk
Okay,
back.
for them it would be a catastrophe if they dropped games, though.
Decker needs Conduit
yeah.
to 2-0, and then Decker
Mhm.
needs Son Goku to win one game.
You know,
One
Son
game.
Goku
One
pulled it
game,
off.
one single game.
Son Goku pulled it off in the mid-season tournament, winning that
They
last.
did.
No, they can't. That's what I'm saying. But for
No.
Little Monkeys, it would be
Let's see
a
if they pull it out
catastrophe
this
for
year.
them.
Yeah.
Like they are
It's-
barely in playoffs, and if they lose to Son Goku, right, and let's say Conduit Esports and AK Jasmine Dragons are close, then we could see both of those two teams in, GSG Gamma and Monkeys out. So we'll see.
Well, if they lose, they're out.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, but yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
Monkeys need to win this. With that though, let's
Hold on
talk.
one sec. Rivard said people are sleeping on Son Goku. Son Goku makes playoffs any other group. You know who else makes playoffs any other group? Any
Phantoms.
team below the 4. Oasis makes
True.
it. Son Goku makes it. Anybody who doesn't make it after tonight would have made it in any other group.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I definitely think that, you can see Little Monkeys, Water, AK Jasmine Dragons, GSG Gamma, Conduit Esports, all playoff teams if you put them in Mountain or Cloud. Which does give me one quick question before we talk about matchups, right? CB Rangers coming at 5-1. But then you look against other top teams like CB Visa and TA Dayspot. Do they have a disadvantage from playing potentially against weaker opponents heading into playoffs?
Maybe. I think Rangers come out better into playoffs because they're going against easily the heaviest competition division.
So,
Like even Maelstrom, I mean, obviously they had a bad series, but if you look at any Oasis team in the past, they're always cracked.
I think the thing about TA Diceball that you mentioned is that they played like Little Monkeys Fire, Rivals pretty early on in the season. And we all know Little Monkeys Fire was a heap of shit in the movie.
That's true.
Rivals was pretty mediocre as well. Little Monkeys Fire has been ramping up. They picked up Wonderworld. Rivals has been doing much better. So TA Dayspot didn't actually play Little Monkeys Fire and Rivals when they're good.
True.
Or else that would have been a closer series. Maybe TA Dayspot still 2-0, but it's definitely a harder series. So TA Dayspot has been pretty much coasting through the season right now.
Okay. Let's talk about predictions now. We're going to start in Ocean because they do normally get cut off a little bit. Up, it is the streamed game on stream number 1, Conduit Esports taking on AK Jasmine Dragons. Big game for both these teams. I believe only one of them makes it off of the result. Everyone has selected Conduit Esports, aside from the bully. You with AK Jasmine Dragons. Give me the rundown on best of 3.
I mean, I heard from the data, apparently AK, when they have their starting 5, they're undefeated. And today they have their undefeated. Like, the numbers check out.
It was Conduit, though.
The numbers don't check out on that one, though. They're not undefeated if they have their starting 5. AK
They lost their first 2 series when they were, like, lane swapped and down a person, and then... Oh, you know what? I remember. No, they did lose one game.
Numbers don't lie.
It's going to be a good one, nonetheless, right? So, all right, you're going with AK Jasmine Dragons in this one. Fury obviously disagrees, as you stated, Conduit. So, what's your final game score for Conduit here, then?
I want to say realistically 2-1. I want them to 2-0, but I think they 2-1.
Fair enough. Up next, Imperial Gaming taking on CB Rangers for first
Clinical.
place.
Decker?
Yeah, we'll
Hey,
get to it. We'll get to it.
like, okay.
We'll get to it.
Yeah,
No,
I
just
have-
wait.
I
Just
have a
wait. Just
thought.
wait. Yeah, just wait. Imperial CB Rangers. That is a little crazy. We see another one in a few seconds that'll blow your mind as well. This one looks like it's a
Oh.
little more split. Decker, you went with CB Rangers here. Give me the reason why. And then what is your game score?
So my game score, let me confirm that real quick. What I sent in. My game score is 2-1 because again, I think both these teams are
It's going to be a good series.
absolutely correct. To me, it's literally just top. Top is the potential for the most volatile matchup. I think both these teams have, I would say, probably two of the best top laners in the league. Sybil to me is IG is absolutely like literally their crown, to use a terrible analogy. So I think it's the top matchup. How it goes is going to determine the pace of this game, and we'll see from there. But I do think that CB holistically pulls it out a little bit over IG.
Okay. All right. I just realized, big shout out to Singular Bread for the resub 16 months. Really appreciate it.
That.
Yeah, I didn't either until I just looked at the mini feed. I was like, oh, wow.
I
Okay.
saw it.
Appreciate
Oh,
it.
sick.
Obviously, GSG Gamma wins. Congratulations. Hard fought best of 3.
It was a rough one.
Yeah, a must win for Little Monkeys Water taking on Son Goku. Everyone except for one sole brave individual has selected Little Monkeys Water. Mr. Lean, you have selected Son Goku. What makes you think in week 7 Son Goku will pick up their first win here?
You know, it's just a feeling. It's like a feeling similar to after you just ate Taco Bell, and you know it's kind of been letting it go for a couple hours now. I really think Son Goku is gonna take the series against Literal Monkeys Water in a 2-1.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to 3 games. It's gonna be a back and forth bloody affair, and then you know, Son Goku's gonna take it out. That's my hot take. I didn't pick clinical, at least.
I
Okay.
mean, all Son Goku needs to do is win one game, and
Yeah.
Little Monkeys
Yeah,
have lost.
that could be
today, no
crazy.
matter
Yeah, it's going to be wild. So we'll see what
Wait, is that
happens.
Will the pressure get
guaranteed
to
if
them?
they lose one game, they're out?
They
Is it
have-
2-0, yeah.
AK has to loop also.
No,
Yeah.
I believe no. Goon Squad Gaming have the head-to-head on that as well. So
Oh,
and
on
then if
Conduit,
AK,
Yeah, let's say if GSG go 0-2,
But they would jump into 4th, and I
No,
guess.
GSG already
We already
won.
won. Yeah.
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 Oh, wait, what?
Yeah,
They
because
forfeit.
Oasis
Yeah,
FF down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there's a
Well,
there-
then, spoiler alert.
So we'll see. It's up to Monkeys. They have to, you know. We'll see. That's a lot of pressure though, heading into week 7, knowing that you have to win both games. Up
and
next
Monkeys
though,
have been
that's
kind
scary.
of in the downward.
they've been
trend
a
of the
little
stock
all over
market.
the place. We don't know quite what we get with them at the moment, but we'll see what happens in week 7. Up next, Mountain CD Ibiza taking on Clown Gaming Jesters, who I believe have a wild roster right now. Everyone has selected CB Ibiza. Is there much to talk about, Fury, for this matchup?
I don't think so. Jester's 1-5 record. I mean, you always like to see kind of an underdog story.
Mhm.
Be like, hey, let's take out the guys that are undefeated, but I can't logistically see it.
Fair. All right.
I mean, Ibiza might pull out some stupid crap today.
Who knows?
that
Yeah.
it might
Just to
have
mess
to-
around. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. It is New World Esports Mercury taking on Clown Gaming Aristocrats. This kind of matters a little bit for the seeding between these teams. It does look like kind of 50-50 actually. So it looks like a little bit shaken people's faith in New World Esports Mercury after losing to CB Ibiza, or Aristocrats are on the up and up. Bully, what's the answer here?
I think Aristocrats are on the up and up, and I think New World Esports, they are sitting at 32 points. They are pretty much locked in. They are locked in at second, so they have less to lose, or they have like nothing to lose. They win. They might jump Visa, but Visa's probably gonna win. So they're probably gonna be sitting at second. Aristocrats have a lot to lose if they lose. They can't afford. That
Yeah.
wouldn't be good.
Yeah. And last but not least for this matchup, it is the battle between 5th and 6th. Glacial Void and Rar duking it out. Decker, you got Void. Brief. What's the series score and why you think that they are the better team here?
So again, I could go back to what I talked about in like the power rankings. It's so close that I had to find little nuances, and I just it's honestly I was hoping you wouldn't call me for this one because it's literally a coin flip.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
went 2-0.
Yeah,
I think it'll be a 2-0 either way.
You just don't
my
know.
coin flip
Doesn't,
landed on Glacial. I just have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what the hell's going on with Clinical and Aftermath Esports in Cloud now?
Okay, can we talk about that now?
Yeah, it's time to talk about
So
it.
you guys can't see this, but I'm like the stream can't. But I'm gonna put this in staff general. I went and checked my DMs. I did not pick Clinical to win.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got the receipts there. It says Clinical 0, Aftermath 2, if you can see. So
Oh, it
yeah,
does say that.
I literally scoured my DMs as soon as I saw
Okay.
that I had Clinical
Might have been a
there.
misclick.
I'm
All
sorry,
good.
I don't have.
But what if Clinical does win? Will you retract that statement?
If
Obviously.
Clinical wins, then I am just 5-head, and I knew it all along, and I believed
Okay.
for every moment.
All right.
No,
Pops are
I'm
read
sorry, I
between
don't
the
have
lines,
any.
you know.
I don't have any crazy spicy take.
All
It
good.
just-
All good.
It was the misread.
Little Monkeys Fire and TA Day Spa. I'll kind of take this one. Some of the best teams in the division taking on some of the worst teams in the division in terms of TA Day Spa and Revolution. That's going to be kind of an easy wrap, I feel, for TA Day Spa. So gives them a good chance to end up 14-0. Rivals is on the up and up. Fire is on the up and up as well. But I still think at the end of the day, Fire is too much going for them right now for Rivals to really challenge them at the moment. So I think worst case scenario, Fire wins 2-1 Rivals, but I can see potential 2-0.
Yep.
Then New World Esports Jupiter up against Business Time Fury. Take it away.
I think this one's going to be close. I have New World Esports winning, but I think it could go either way. I think it's kind of a coin flip for me as well. I think Business Time at least gets a game off in my scenario, though. I think it's 2-1.
Okay. And then for next week, before we throw to a quick break, Bully, sorry. Kind of walk us through what next week is going to look like for seeding.
Yeah, of course, 3 divisions, 4 teams. It's going to be kind of awkward to seed this. So we had to add in the seeding week, which is next week. Basically, whatever you end up this week is you're going to be pretty much around the same rank as the other seeds. Like, for example, if you ended first in your division, you're going to be one of the top 3 seeds no matter what. But these games next week, you're going to be playing against the other 1 seeds or other 2 seeds, whatever seeds you are, and to determine who's going to take number 1 through 3 for first seeds, 4 through 6 for second seeds, 7 through 9 for 3 seeds, and 10 through 12 for 4 seeds. And then you'll also play against one of the other seeds. So seeds will also play against 1 2 seed. 3 seeds will play against at least 1 4 seed, and in that order. There's gonna be a detailed post after the game tonight for the teams that do make it, but that extra game will be just used as one of the tiebreakers, just in case if there's like a triple triangle tie again after the seeding. But it's going to be mostly just to make sure everyone's ranked 1 to 12. If you end as a first seed, you're going to get a bye no matter what next week. If you end as a second seed, you might have a bye next week as well, depending how you do. Or not next week, in 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, the week. All right, well, that's our playoff breakdown. Best of luck to all the teams participating tonight. F's in chat again. If you didn't make it, it's all right. Better luck next year. Believe in you. We're going to throw to a quick break, and when we are back, Conduit Esports taking on AK Jasmine Dragons on stream 1 for a shot at playoffs, and on stream 2, the same deal. New World Esports Jupiter dukes it out with Business Time as both of those teams look to qualify for playoffs in week 7. Right back.